So let me just talk briefly about the third episode of Vaser Claw, right? Name of the episode is Fortitude, and this, pretty much follows from the last episode, right? So we continue on with Vaser Claw's journey, where he's pretty much trying to investigate something that relates to something in the past involving his team and whatnot. So he's investigating that, and it involves him reaching to the city of Condor, right? Of course, tagging along with him is the freshwater Trini or freshwater Yankee, if you want to call him that. Keith, who is played once again by Kendall Arno, right? And as where the last episode stopped off, now they are confronted by this blade wielding body with multicolored hair, and it's clearly an alien, right? That alien warrior, right? And yeah, the episode opens up with this really dope fight scene involving the two of them, right? Involving Visa and her, right? And then we learned that that individual is someone close to Visa now, and apparently like she just didn't know what was going on, or maybe she was brainwashed. It's not really like stated exactly what happened with her, right? But clearly she's not like thinking straight, right? So afterwards, now Visa ends up running into his girlfriend now, Princess Lura, who was told in the first episode pretty much to stay back. He wants to be all lone wolf and all of this, so he wants to do this by himself, right? But basically he's been going on this direction, and to be fair, Keith was kind of helping him out on this path, right? But then Lura, this pretty much comes and says, no, you were kind of going the wrong way. You're supposed to go that way, right? And that kind of leads to a little bit of conflict there. In between that time now, we catch up on Lane, who is still doing her still more or less preparing herself for her next stage and becoming this badass warrior. And while all this is going on now, we have Queen Lucinda, and Inferna actually shows up as well too, and she does do a little mention of Magnolia as well too, in terms of, oh, this is like my investigation into these half human, half alien hybrids, and that kind of stuff, right? And I'll stop here. So what I will say as a positive, right? This is a considerable improvement over the last episode in the sense that it's still short, but there's actually way more going on here than we got in the last episode. The last episode felt way too short, way too rushed, right? Like it literally felt like there was like a few scenes or a few moments missing from it, right? Here, even though I did want more, you could tell that there is more going on in this episode, right? Again, cinematography, direction on point, music on point, visual effects, the few that we see here on point, acting is on point as well too, right? Points, or I should say the standout actor in this clearly has to go. If I got the name wrong, forgive me. Mercedes Petrovani, who plays Akuna, right? That is the alien warrior who shows up and faces Vaser Claw at the beginning, right? It's just the design of her, right? The costume design, makeup, all that kind of stuff, that totally works. Even right down to the weapons that she uses as well. Here absolutely works for me, right? Again, this is it seemed similar to the last episode. I do wish that we got a longer fight, but again, I understand. We kind of working with time and we working with budget as well too, right? So, but still, see that it is this like really cool character. We could have gotten to see a little bit more of her, or at least her skill sets and whatnot, right? Also, I do like, seeing Princess Laura into the story again. You actually get a nice little, one-on-one dialogue between her and Visa. I love the chemistry that, both actors portray, or I should say exhibit in this scene here, right? It totally works. So you really do see how much they really do care for each other, right? Uh, I really dig the character of Keith though. I just really love the fact that he is just a random Trini, as he says, he just went out, he was going to buy a bread, and one thing let you know that he's in space, right? I love that. And believe it or not, it's only the third episode. It's only now that I realized this man was rocking that face mask. I didn't even know that, like right tucked underneath his chin is a black face mask. I didn't even realize that, Jen. So, it's like, oh, okay, that this clearly kind of taking place, during, well, I should say, even though I know it's couple of years in the future, actually. Yeah, so I guess COVID is still a thing, but like,
they're
whatever.
not on alien planet, I know.
Yeah, they are. But I still think while he was going out for bread, we was still in a pandemic, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just that little thing that I didn't even notice. I was like, wow, third episode I now noticed that, right? If I do have one gripe though, is that this is the third episode here, and the fourth one is going to be the last one, and I don't really feel like there's any like real stake involved, right? Because what I mean is like this is like your penultimate episode here, so at this moment it's like all bets are off. We kind of know what's going on. We kind of know what the big threat is. So you just have
the
to
second
drop.
last episode, isn't it? Episode 3.
Yeah, this is what it is. This is what it is. It's a 4-part miniseries, right?
Oh, I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right. So at this point now, in this episode now, it's like all bets are off. We really need to see what's going on here. We need to know what the big threat is, what the big twist is, or whatever big stuff going on. And yet still, this kind of seems like, all right, with us on a journey, and once we get there, we will know everything. That was a letdown. That was a letdown for me actually. Like at this point, even though they haven't even reached their destination, that's Vaser, Keith, and to extent Laura. Still by now it should be like, all right, like here's where the big threat is, and this is what we have to face. So when episode 4 starts now, it's like you don't even have to wait for anything. It's like we just start right off the gate, and then we just kind of end the story off gloriously, right? Same thing I could say to with Lucinda as well, right? Like still, it's like her investigating this whole Excalibur stuff. She kind of learning a thing or two about the hybrids on Earth. But still, you're not really sure what her motive is or what she's really doing behind the scenes. Even by now, it should be like, all right, now I think I know what's gonna happen, right? It still seems like things are still up there. We just have to wait till the next episode to see what happens next, right? So that being said, though, I do hope that with this fourth final episode, that yes, questions are answered and we do get like, okay, this is really what all this is about, right? Because yes, I understand this is about Vaser and his journey and whatnot, right? But like what I really wanted to see, and it's a shame that we have to wait till the fourth episode of this, right? Is what this means for him going forward. What does this journey mean to him ultimately, right? It's like it's more of, okay, it's not about the destination, but it's the journey. But here, it's like, nah, it's really, in this case here, it really feels like it's the destination itself and not the journey, right? But it should be about the journey itself, right? What it all means to him. And I felt like we could have gotten more hints of that, or at least more of a clear idea of that in this episode here, right? But still, we the fourth episode is on its way, though. I am still excited as hell to see what happens next. I do hope that this miniseries ends on a really satisfying note at this point in time. It doesn't have to be glorious or over the top, like I'm not expecting, Avengers Endgame level insanity, but still in terms of who the character is and his motivation, what he's about, I do want to see that kind of like come full circle at this point here. So I do hope that that this final episode that's coming up does not disappoint here. But in between time, as usual, you can check out the this and the previous 2 episodes on the GT Caribbean Network website. And yeah, I mean, again, Vaser Claw is just shaping up to be a rather ambitious entry in this Bill Ventures universe, man. And yeah, just can't wait to see what we get with this finale, man. So yeah, episode 4, bring it on. I can't wait, man.